Dolphins fans? I'm Will Scott. Welcome to the Dolphins Today Mailbag. We're answering subscriber questions on today's show. And we begin with Zach Kazinka saying, Heat and 7, baby. Also, Cedric Wilson back to Dallas. I'm saying Heat and 6, Zach, but we'll see what happens. I'll take Heat and 7. In terms of a Cedric Wilson trade, I would not be shocked if he did get moved. I don't know if it makes sense for Dallas to bring him back because they did trade for Brandon Cooks. They have CeeDee Lamb. They have some other guys on that team that I think they feel pretty good about at wide receiver. So I don't think he'll go back to Dallas, but maybe a team like the Ravens that could still use a little bit more wide receiver depth even after drafting Trey Flowers and signing OBJ. Or maybe even you include him in the Dalvin Cook deal. If you trade for Dalvin Cook, I think the Vikes could certainly use him. But Ced did address the rumors earlier this week and said that he would like to stay in Miami. So I would like to see him reach his full potential in this Dolphins offense. We just didn't see that last year. Scotty B, thanks for the question, my friend. Dalton Risner, a top target. He's my top target, Scotty. Unfortunately, I have not seen him seriously linked to the Dolphins. And I think a reason for that is his former offensive line coach in Denver, Butch Barry, is now with the Dolphins. Apparently, Butch was not very well liked amongst the Broncos players. There was a rumor that they stood up and applauded when they found out he was let go. I hope that's not true, but that's just the rumor. So I don't know if that has impacted maybe Risner's interest or lack of interest in Miami, but I have not really heard him seriously linked to the Dolphins. But if I am Chris Greer and he's still out there and available, Dalton Risner, which he is, you got to spend some of that money you got on the Byron Jones post-June 1 cut on an offensive lineman, and Dalton Risner being a huge upgrade at left guard. There is no question about that. We appreciate the question, Scotty B. Derek Washington. Aubrey Miller will be the breakout player when training camp comes. He low-key already might be, Derek. He has been fantastic here, and if you haven't and the people that are watching this live, stay tuned for the UDFA video. If you're watching this over the weekend, go check out that UDFA video that we put out earlier this week. But Aubrey Miller is going to be absolutely fantastic. I think that he has a chance to make this Dolphins team. Derek, when he went undrafted, I was shocked. And then the Dolphins signed him. I'm like, let's go. He was probably a top 3 or 5 undrafted free agent for me. And just in terms of what he did at Jackson State, he won the SWAC Defensive Player of the Year award last year. So, yeah, I'm with you. I think Aubrey's going to be really good. Gasicki the GOAT, you might want to change the username, my friend. Mike McDaniel for Coach of the Year. Yeah, I think he's going to be in the mix. I think if the Dolphins beat the Bills, who have won the division the last couple of years, beat the Jets, who are very much hyped up with Aaron Rodgers, if they win the division, I think Mike McDaniel will win Coach of the Year. I think that's what it's going to take. But if he can win the division in year 2, I'd give him Coach of the Year. Will Mike McDaniel, who we all know and love, will he win Coach of the Year? Y for yes, N for no, down in the comment section. Go down, chime in. Fins up, we appreciate the super chat, $5. So what do you think they are going to do with the Byron Jones money? Bring in a guy or sign guys? Good question. They haven't used the money yet. I mean, fins up, they could not do anything at all and just save that money in case something happens during the season. They have to sign somebody during the season. I mean, you look at what they did last year. They brought in Brandon Shell. They traded for Bradley Chubb and Jeff Wilson. They wouldn't have been able to make those moves if they had zero cap space. So they might just kind of hold on to the money for now, save it for a rainy day. But I could also see them making a move here, and I think they will. I think fans might be a little bit disappointed if it's not the offensive line. But maybe look for them to bring in a guy like Akeem Hicks to be the backup nose tackle to Raekwon Davis. That could make a lot of sense. Scotty B, when will the Christian Wilkins deal get done as well as cutting Byron Jones? So because we're after June 1, Scotty, the Byron Jones post-June 1 cut has gone through. The Dolphins did get that $13.6 million. They have about $15 million to play with right now. So that has gone through. Hopefully, they use some of that money to extend Christian Wilkins. I absolutely believe that has to get done. Connor Williams is sitting out minicamp right now. At least he did the first 2 days as we're filming this video on Wednesday. So that's been disappointing that Connor Williams has not been there. Christian Wilkins, he wants to get paid. he's there, I think you should pay Christian Wilkins. Make that your top priority here. Jackson Lynch. What's up, Jackson? Where do you think Cook will be playing next year? Miami. I do. And look, I deserve to be criticized for flip-flopping on Dalvin Cook so much, but can you blame me? I mean, back in March, it felt like it was inevitable. I mean, it just felt like it was going to happen, and then we get to the draft, and we're thinking a trade might happen draft weekend. It doesn't. They draft Devon Achane, and after that happened, I'm like, yeah, I'd still be surprised if they got Cook, but they continue to be linked to Dalvin Cook. I just think there's too much smoke for there not to be something there. So, yeah, I do believe Dalvin Cook will be a Dolphin, but I've been wrong before. As producer Jack knows, I've said a lot of guys are going to be Dolphins that don't end up being Dolphins. So we'll see. I will say this, Jackson. Don't be shocked if he stays in Minnesota, because the longer that this drags out, the less likely it is he leaves Minnesota, because he wouldn't get a big deal if Minnesota cut him, let's say, a month from now. So I think he could take a small pay cut to stay in Minnesota. I would not rule that out at this point. The Scotts, what's up? Great song by my guy Travis Scott. Guy who will do really well this season that no one is talking about. This is a great question. I'm going to say Malik Reed. There's not really a whole lot of people talking about how he's going to do this year. You know, you talk about some other guys they got like Jalen Ramsey. But I really think that Malik Reed's going to be really good. And here's why I say that. Yeah, he didn't put up big numbers in Pittsburgh last year, but I look at what he did with Vic Fangio in Denver the season prior. He was fantastic. He put up really big numbers, was one of the best players on that Broncos defense, which is saying something because the Broncos have always had a good defense, especially with Vic Fangio they did. So Malik Reed is going to have a pretty big impact on this team. He might be a dark horse to start at inside linebacker, beat out David Long for that job. Long has been dealing with some things in camp. We haven't heard a whole lot about the things that have been going on with him, but apparently he's missed a day or two of apparently he did miss a day or two of OTA, so we'll see. Maybe Malik Reed could start there. Who on the Dolphins will be a pleasant surprise this season? What do you think? Let me know down in the comment section. It is the Pins comment on today's video. So when ad break comes, go down, chime in. Who will be a pleasant surprise on the Dolphins this year? John Ruiz. Should the Dolphins re-sign Melvin Ingram because no team has been linked to him? I'm very surprised he is still out there and available. I mean, I know we can say the same about a lot of guys like Risner, like Melvin Ingram. I'm surprised that he is still out there. He had a pretty good year for us, man. I mean, he had 6 sacks. That was second on the team. He was a great role player on the defense. Scotty, I'm aware that Reed's an outside linebacker, but he's versatile. I could see him shifting to the inside. Andrew Van Ginkel, he might be making the switch. Going back to John Ruiz's question here, I'm going to say no to re-signing Melvin. And I'm not saying that because I don't think he's a good player. I think he can go to a lot of places and help that defense right away. But the Dolphins just don't really need another outside linebacker. That's just the take I have there. But I wish Melvin the best. He was pretty good for us last year. Travis Bolton, what's up? Do you think Miami could run more of a 4-3 if we get young? Yeah, that's a great question. Right now they run a 3-4. They got 3 starting defensive linemen, 4 starting linebackers, especially with some of the concerns you have an inside linebacker right now. Might make some more sense, but I do know Vic Fangio is probably going to prefer to run a 3-4. We'll see. But if we can get Chase Young, man, a 4-3 might make some sense. But I trust whatever scheme Vic Fangio wants to roll with here. Be sure to subscribe for more Dolphins news and rumors because we bring you year-round coverage of the Miami Dolphins. Hit that subscribe button below if you want more Dolphins news and rumors. Gerald Stokes, $20 super chat. What's up, my man? We appreciate the contribution. Assign Wilkins. Nothing great can be accomplished without hard work and enthusiasm. Coach Jimmy V. That's a great quote, man. I try to bring a lot of enthusiasm to this channel, and I just love that word enthusiasm. I think it's so important in life. So shout out to Gerald Stokes, and rest in peace, Jimmy. I'm guessing he means Jim Valvano. Is he referring to Jim Valvano? Sign Wilkins. I'm with you. I think a deal needs to get done. I'm surprised the deal has not been done yet. I predicted that a deal would get done by the end of next week. So stay tuned, Gerald. I do believe they are working on this. I think Connor Williams' situation is throwing a wrench in the Wilkins extension a little bit because now they have to worry about extending Connor Williams too, when their main priority was probably extending Christian Wilkins. So I'm with you, Gerald. A Wilkins deal absolutely has to get done. You cannot allow Christian Wilkins to become a free agent next year. That just cannot happen. He's too valuable to this team. He's too valuable to this defense. You can't allow him to go into free agency. Carter Reimer, AJ and Miami breakout year. I'm guessing you mean AJ, Austin Jackson, and Eze. I think Austin Jackson could be good. I still think Isaiah Wynn. I still lean toward Isaiah Wynn winning that job, no pun intended. And then Erik Ezukanma. Erik Ezukanma's got to get more involved. He was just active for one game last year. He absolutely has to get more involved with this offense, and hopefully he does. Hopefully he gets the opportunity because we saw what he did last offseason at OTAs and camp. He looked great. Hopefully he gets a shot, Carter. Be sure to subscribe for more Dolphins news and rumors, youtube.com/DolphinsTV.